Welcome to Lore of the Lost, where we uncover stories from the past steeped in truth and historical accuracy. Get unheard of perspectives and discover what life was really like during these times. Listen to the boring history as you drift off into another world. I am George Lancaster, your speaker tonight, and please let me hear where you're listening from and what time it is for you in the comments. Now listen along as we venture into the disciplined world of feudal Japan, where honor meant everything and duty defined existence. In the year 1615, during the early Edo period, the morning mist clings to the wooden walls of a modest samurai residence in a castle town near Edo. Takeshi Yamamoto, a middle-ranking samurai in service to the Matsudaira clan, begins his day as he has for the past 15 years. At 38 years old, his life follows the rigid patterns established by centuries of warrior tradition. The smell of incense from the family shrine mingles with the cool morning air as he performs his daily ablutions. His world is one of absolute hierarchy, where every gesture, every word, and every moment serves the greater purpose of maintaining order and honor within the feudal system that governs all aspects of Japanese society. The first light of dawn finds Takeshi kneeling before the small Buddhist altar in his home's main room. His wife, Sachiko, has already prepared the offerings of rice, water, and incense, following customs that connect their household to both ancestors and the spiritual realm. The wooden house, built in traditional style with sliding shoji screens and tatami mat floors, reflects their middle-class samurai status. Unlike the grand estates of high-ranking daimyo, Takeshi's residence contains only 6 rooms, including a small garden courtyard. The structure itself speaks to the careful social stratification of Edo, Japan, where architectural styles, room numbers, and even the types of wood used in construction were regulated by sumptuary laws that reinforced class distinctions. After morning prayers, Takeshi begins the meticulous process of dressing in his formal attire. The layering of garments follows precise protocols established by the Tokugawa shogunate. First comes the fundoshi undergarment, then the white kozode robe, followed by the hakama trousers that mark his samurai status. The colors and patterns of his clothing are not matters of personal preference, but indicators of rank, season, and occasion. His family mon, or crest, appears on specific locations of his garments, identifying his lineage and allegiances to any who might observe him. The process of dressing becomes a daily meditation on identity and social position, reinforcing the rigid structure that defines every aspect of his existence within the feudal hierarchy. The morning meal consists of rice, miso soup, pickled vegetables, and dried fish, prepared according to seasonal availability and Buddhist dietary principles. Sachiko serves the food in specific ceramic bowls, each piece carefully chosen to reflect the season and maintain aesthetic harmony. The family eats in relative silence, following customs that emphasize mindfulness and gratitude for sustenance. Takeshi's 2 children, a son of 12 and daughter of 9, sit in positions that reflect their status within the family hierarchy. Even this simple meal carries the weight of tradition, from the manner of holding chopsticks to the order in which different foods are consumed, creating a daily ritual that reinforces cultural values and social expectations. Following breakfast, Takeshi makes his way through the narrow streets of the castle town toward his lord's residence. The urban layout itself reflects the social order, with samurai residences positioned closest to the castle, followed by areas designated for merchants, artisans, and farmers. The streets are unpaved earthen paths that turn muddy during the frequent rains, requiring careful navigation in traditional wooden gaiter sandals. He passes other samurai making similar journeys, each recognizable by their distinctive hairstyles, clothing, and the 2 swords that mark their warrior status. The morning procession becomes a daily display of the rigid social hierarchy that governs every interaction and movement within the carefully ordered world of Edo, Japan. At the castle compound, Takeshi joins other retainers for the morning assembly, where daily duties and announcements are distributed by higher-ranking officials. The ceremony follows ancient protocols, with specific positions for each rank of samurai, prescribed methods of bowing, and formal language patterns that reinforce hierarchical relationships. His current assignment involves overseeing tax collection from farming villages in the domain, work that requires both administrative skills and the authority that comes with his warrior status. The irony is not lost on him that in this time of peace, established by the Tokugawa shogunate's successful unification of Japan, his martial training serves primarily to maintain civil order rather than engage in actual warfare. The administrative duties that occupy most of Takeshi's day involve reviewing tax records, mediating disputes between villagers, and ensuring that rice quotas are met according to the complex kokudaka system that measures land productivity. His education in reading, writing, and mathematics, acquired during his youth through Confucian scholarly traditions, proves essential for these bureaucratic responsibilities. The transition from warrior to administrator reflects the broader transformation of samurai society during the peaceful Edo period, when the practical skills of governance became as important as martial prowess. Yet the underlying philosophy remains unchanged: service to one's lord and maintenance of social harmony through the careful application of duty and honor in all endeavors. Midday brings a simple meal of rice balls and tea, consumed while reviewing documents related to village tax assessments. The food is practical rather than elaborate, reflecting both Buddhist principles of moderation and the economic realities facing many samurai families during this period of extended peace. Without the spoils of war to supplement their incomes, many warrior families find themselves struggling financially while maintaining the appearances required by their social status. Takeshi's salary, paid in rice rather than currency, must support not only his immediate family, but also the servants and retainers whose employment reflects his position within the feudal hierarchy. Every grain of rice carries the weight of responsibility and the burden of maintaining face within a society that values appearance as much as substance. The afternoon hours are dedicated to correspondence with officials in other domains, a task that requires careful attention to the complex protocols governing inter-domain communication during the Edo period. Each letter must follow prescribed formats, use appropriate honorific language, and acknowledge the relative status of both sender and recipient. The Tokugawa shogunate's policy of alternate attendance, requiring daimyo to spend alternate years in Edo, has created an extensive network of administrative communication that keeps the central government informed of conditions throughout Japan. Takeshi's role in this system makes him a small but essential component in the machinery of centralized feudal control that has brought unprecedented peace and stability to the Japanese islands. As the day progresses, Takeshi receives a visit from a lower-ranking samurai seeking guidance on a dispute between two farming families over water rights. The consultation takes place in a formal reception room, with both men seated in seiza position on tatami mats, following protocols that have governed such interactions for centuries. The younger samurai's deference, expressed through language, posture, and the depth of his bows, reinforces the hierarchical relationships that structure all social interactions. Takeshi's advice draws upon legal precedents, Confucian principles of social harmony, and practical considerations of agricultural productivity. The resolution of such disputes requires not only knowledge of law and custom, but also the wisdom to balance competing interests while maintaining the social order. The late afternoon brings time for martial practice, a daily requirement that maintains the physical and spiritual discipline essential to samurai identity. In a small courtyard behind the administrative buildings, Takeshi practices kata with his katana, following movements perfected through decades of training. The sword itself is a work of art, forged by a master craftsman according to techniques passed down through generations of swordsmiths. Each movement in his practice routine serves both physical conditioning and spiritual meditation, connecting him to the warrior traditions of his ancestors while maintaining readiness for duties that may never require actual combat. The practice becomes a form of moving prayer, honoring the way of the sword that defines his social identity. Following sword practice, Takeshi spends time in the castle's library, studying classical Chinese texts that form the foundation of samurai education. The works of Confucius, Mencius, and other philosophical masters provide guidance for ethical conduct and effective governance. His ability to read classical Chinese, acquired through years of scholarly training, marks him as an educated member of the warrior class. The afternoon study session reinforces the intellectual traditions that complement martial training in the formation of the ideal samurai. These ancient texts offer wisdom for navigating the complex moral and practical challenges of administering justice and maintaining social harmony in a rapidly changing world where traditional warrior roles are evolving into bureaucratic responsibilities. As evening approaches, Takeshi makes his way home through streets that are beginning to quiet as merchants close their shops and artisans complete their daily work. The social geography of the castle town becomes apparent in the evening hours as different classes of people retire to their designated neighborhoods. Oil lamps and candles begin to flicker in windows, creating pools of warm light in the gathering darkness. The evening air carries the sounds of temple bells, marking the passage of time, the distant chanting of Buddhist monks, and the gentle conversations of families gathering for their evening meals. This daily transition from public duty to private life provides a rhythm that has structured Japanese society for centuries. At home, Takeshi changes from his formal attire into more comfortable clothing appropriate for family life. The process of removing his swords and placing them in their designated stand marks the transition from his public role as samurai to his private identity as husband and father. Sachiko has prepared the evening meal, which includes seasonal vegetables from their small garden, rice, and perhaps a small portion of fish or tofu for protein. The family gathers around a low table, sitting on zabuton cushions placed on the tatami mats. The evening meal provides an opportunity for quiet conversation about the day's events, the children's studies, and family matters that require attention and planning. After dinner, Takeshi spends time with his son, reviewing the boy's progress in calligraphy, mathematics, and classical literature. Education of samurai children follows rigorous standards that prepare them for eventual service to their lord and maintenance of family honor. The evening tutorial covers not only academic subjects, but also instruction in proper behavior, respect for hierarchy, and understanding of duty and obligation. His daughter receives education appropriate to her gender and social class, focusing on skills that will prepare her for marriage into another samurai family. These evening lessons reinforce the cultural transmission that maintains samurai values and ensures continuity of tradition across generations, despite the changing nature of warrior society. The family's evening routine includes time spent in the small garden courtyard, where carefully tended plants reflect the changing seasons and provide a space for quiet contemplation. The garden design follows principles that create harmony between human habitation and natural beauty, incorporating elements such as stone arrangements, carefully pruned trees, and a small water feature. Takeshi finds in these moments of garden contemplation a respite from the day's administrative duties and an opportunity to reflect on the deeper meanings of his service to his lord and family. The garden serves as a physical manifestation of the aesthetic principles that guide samurai culture, emphasizing simplicity, natural beauty, and the integration of human activity with seasonal rhythms. As darkness settles over the castle town, Takeshi performs his evening devotions before the family Buddhist altar. The ritual includes lighting incense, offering prayers for the welfare of his lord, his family, and the souls of departed ancestors. The evening prayers connect his household to the spiritual dimensions of existence that complement and support the social obligations of samurai life. The flickering candlelight illuminates family memorial tablets and religious images that provide continuity with past generations and guidance for future conduct. These moments of spiritual practice offer grounding in values that transcend the immediate concerns of daily administration and connect personal duty to universal principles of compassion and wisdom. The evening also includes time for personal reflection and planning for the following day's responsibilities. Takeshi reviews his notes from the day's activities, prepares materials needed for tomorrow's duties, and considers how best to address ongoing challenges in his administrative work. The quiet hours after the family retires provide opportunity for the kind of careful thought that effective governance requires. He might spend time reading poetry, practicing calligraphy, or simply sitting in meditation as a way of maintaining the mental clarity and emotional balance essential for wise decision-making. These solitary evening hours become a daily practice of self-cultivation that supports his ability to serve others effectively. Preparation for sleep follows routines that have been established through years of disciplined living. The futon bedding is arranged on tatami mats in the family's sleeping area, with positions that reflect family hierarchy and seasonal considerations for warmth and ventilation. The house is secured for the night, with sliding doors closed and oil lamps extinguished, except for a single light maintained near the family altar. Takeshi's swords are placed in their designated location, easily accessible but properly secured according to both practical and ritual requirements. The transition to sleep becomes another opportunity for mindfulness and gratitude for the day's accomplishments and challenges overcome through dedication to duty and honor. The weekly rhythm of samurai life includes variations that break the routine of daily administrative duties. Market days bring increased activity in the castle town as farmers bring produce to sell and merchants conduct business with samurai households. Takeshi's wife manages most commercial transactions, as direct involvement in trade would compromise his warrior status, but he must oversee household finances and ensure that expenditures remain within the bounds of both family resources and social propriety. The economic challenges facing samurai families during the peaceful Edo period require careful management and sometimes difficult choices between maintaining appropriate appearances and meeting practical needs. These market day observations provide insight into the broader economic changes affecting Japanese society. Religious festivals punctuate the calendar with celebrations that bring together all social classes in shared observance of Buddhist and Shinto traditions. During these festivals, Takeshi participates in processions and ceremonies that reinforce community bonds while maintaining appropriate distinctions of rank and status. The festivals provide opportunities for artistic expression, social interaction, and spiritual renewal that complement the disciplined routine of daily duty. Traditional music, dance, and theatrical performances during festival times preserve cultural traditions and provide entertainment that enriches community life. These periodic celebrations serve as reminders of the cultural heritage that gives meaning and context to the obligations and sacrifices required by samurai service. Seasonal changes bring variations in duty assignments, clothing, food, and daily routines that connect samurai life to natural rhythms despite the urban setting of castle-town existence. Spring brings tax assessment duties as farmers prepare their fields for planting, while autumn requires oversight of harvest activities and collection of rice taxes that support the domain's operations. Winter provides time for increased study and martial practice, while summer's heat necessitates adjustments in work schedules and clothing. The seasonal cycle provides a natural framework for the annual rhythm of administrative responsibilities and personal development activities that structure samurai life throughout the year. Takeshi's relationships with other samurai in his lord's service create a network of mutual obligation and support that extends beyond immediate family connections. These relationships require careful maintenance through appropriate gifts, visits during times of celebration or mourning, and mutual assistance during difficult periods. The complex web of reciprocal obligations among samurai creates a social safety net that provides security in exchange for continued loyalty and service. Conflicts within this network must be resolved through mediation and compromise rather than direct confrontation, as maintaining harmony within the Lord's retainer band is essential for effective governance and military readiness should the need arise. The education and development of his children represents one of Takeshi's most important long-term responsibilities, as their success or failure reflects directly on family honor and affects future generations. His son's preparation for eventual service as a samurai requires not only academic and martial training, but also development of character traits such as loyalty, courage, and wisdom that cannot be taught through formal instruction alone. His daughter's education focuses on skills and knowledge that will enable her to marry successfully and manage a samurai household, contributing to the network of alliances that strengthen clan relationships. The investment of time and resources in children's education represents hope for family continuity and advancement within the rigid but stable social system. Personal relationships with farmers, merchants, and artisans in the domain require careful balance between maintaining social distance appropriate to class distinctions and developing the understanding necessary for effective administration. Takeshi's success in managing tax collection and dispute resolution depends upon his ability to understand the practical challenges facing people in different occupations, while maintaining the authority that comes with his samurai status. These relationships provide insight into the broader economic and social changes affecting Japanese society during the Edo period, as increased commercial activity and urban development create new opportunities and challenges for all social classes. The philosophical framework that guides Takeshi's daily decisions draws upon Confucian principles of social harmony, Buddhist teachings about compassion and impermanence, and indigenous Japanese values emphasizing loyalty and honor. This synthesis of philosophical traditions provides guidance for navigating complex moral and practical challenges that arise in administrative work and family life. The integration of these different wisdom traditions reflects the cultural sophistication of Edo period Japan and the intellectual development expected of educated samurai. Daily application of these philosophical principles transforms routine administrative duties into opportunities for moral development and service to the greater good. Health and medical care during this period require attention to diet, exercise, and seasonal adjustments that prevent illness and maintain the physical fitness necessary for samurai duties. Traditional medicine combines herbal remedies, acupuncture, and dietary therapy with spiritual practices that address both physical and mental well-being. Takeshi's daily martial practice, regular meditation, and adherence to seasonal dietary customs contribute to maintaining the robust health necessary for effective service to his lord. The integration of physical, mental, and spiritual health practices reflects a holistic understanding of human well-being that supports the demanding lifestyle required of samurai during the Edo period. Financial management presents ongoing challenges as Takeshi's rice stipend must cover not only basic family needs, but also the expenses associated with maintaining appropriate samurai appearance and fulfilling social obligations. The economic transformation of Japan during the peaceful Edo period has created new opportunities for wealth accumulation through commerce. But samurai are largely excluded from these activities by social convention and legal restriction. Some samurai families supplement their incomes through teaching, crafts, or other activities that can be pursued without compromising their warrior status. The tension between economic necessity and social propriety creates ongoing stress that requires careful navigation and sometimes difficult compromises. The broader political context of Takeshi's service includes awareness of the Tokugawa shogunate's policies for maintaining peace and stability throughout Japan. The system of alternate attendance, restrictions on foreign trade, and careful monitoring of potential threats to central authority all affect daily life in the domains. Takeshi's administrative duties contribute to the information network that keeps the central government informed of local conditions and potential problems. His loyalty to his immediate lord must be balanced with ultimate loyalty to the shogun and the political system that has brought unprecedented peace and prosperity to Japan after centuries of warfare and instability. As we observe Takeshi's life unfold through days, seasons, and years of dedicated service, we glimpse the reality of samurai existence during Japan's peaceful Edo period. Far from the dramatic battles of popular imagination, his life reveals the quiet dignity of duty, fulfilled through administrative competence, moral integrity, and unwavering loyalty to hierarchical obligations. The rigid social structure that defined every aspect of daily existence provided stability and meaning in exchange for personal freedom and individual expression. Honor was not won through martial glory, but earned through consistent performance of mundane responsibilities, careful attention to social propriety, and dedication to family and lord that transcended personal desires. This was bushido lived not in moments of crisis, but in the patient accumulation of small acts of service that maintained social harmony and cultural continuity across generations.